Hi, I'm Teresa Ruth Howard from MyBodyMyImage.com, and it's my pleasure to sit with Ms. Linda Celeste Sims of Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. And one of the reasons why you fascinate me is because over the years, of course, I've watched you. And it was just this last season, I was like, how does she do it? You, not only get just better. Well, first of all, she's so technically proficient and consistent that it's crazy, it's phenomenal. But also artistically, you just keep getting better and better. And I can see the choices that you choose to make. And I was like, I want to talk to her because I want to know how you manage to keep up this vigorous schedule and stay healthy. Because you've never had a real...
No, not in about 15 years. I think the only time I got injured was my first year in the company. And that was because I was not taking care of myself.
So that's 16 years ago. So in 15 years, you haven't had a real, like, I'm out injury.
We had the 3 weeks off in January, where we usually have after City Center, and I didn't take class. And I thought, I worked so hard, during the summer in this new company, I wanted to just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst thing I could ever done to myself. Came back, we had to do Sweet Otis by George Faison. And you're weak. I mean, it's only 3 weeks. Might seem like it's not a long time, but you actually do get weak.
And what did you do?
And I went to do a saute a la Sacone, and it wasn't like I was trying to jump super high. It's a really quick dance, so it was just a little
saute. So those muscles had to fire.
Yeah, and my ankle just like buckled up underneath me, like I maybe slightly sickled it when I jumped.
Right.
So when I landed on the outside of my ankle, and I fell right to the floor. But, I thought I was going to be okay. I stood up. I was like, it feels a little puffy.
Already.
And they're like, oh, no, if she could stand, she's going to be okay.
If you can bear weight.
Yeah, if she can bear weight, she's going to be good. But we were about to embark on 17 weeks straight U.S. tour. And it was Friday after lunch around 5 o'clock. I mean, it was the day before we left. And I had to go straight to the emergency room.
And what did you do? Did you break it?
No, I just sprained it, but it was like, it was a really bad sprain, and, I was out for 6 weeks, but, that's when I got the revelation, like, I love dance, and I really miss it, and the 6 weeks were just, they weren't torture, but sometimes, I hate to say this, and I try to tell people before they come to this point, sometimes an injury is what you need to let you know that you really got to take care of yourself.
And it puts you in focus, and it really does clarify things.
Yeah, because people think facility, I have extensions, I don't need to warm up. I can just walk in, rehearse, I don't need to warm up. That's not good.
Let me ask you a question, just so that we're clear, because when we see you, we see what you have become. And over these, it's more than 16 years with Ailey, but, you've been dancing for longer. What kind of body did you have? Did you have any body issues when you were younger?
Well, I was pretty small all throughout my life, but then, you hit puberty, and so things kind of change, and your shape changes, so you have more muscle, you have more booty.
Right.
I'd even have more boobies. And I was like, whoa, my hormones are really changing. But, and I kind of had that problem when I was in, I used to go to LaGuardia Performing Arts High School. So I would talk to my teachers, and I think that as long as you can communicate and you find that one person, that one teacher, that you can kind of be honest. Because, again, I had no one in my family that's in the dance world.
Right,
so I'm like... I didn't have a dance mom, the
way that you wanted to look. They're like, you're fine.
And she's cooking all she wants to cook, the rice and beans and the meat. Right. So, and I don't have a job, so I can't pay for my own food. But I would just try to just have meat or whatever. But still, the balance is a little off. It's still hard because hormones are kicking in, and you're hungry too, and you gotta eat. You're rehearsing all day.
And you have a mother who's like, you need to eat because you're dancing. It's
I really try to lighten up, eat a lot of tuna, and I would be careful what I eat for lunch at school, have more salad, things like that. But I think the key is just finding that one person you can talk to help you understand, that...
What you're going through.
What you're going through, yeah.
And it's a period of time.
I had teachers. I guess I don't want to say the teachers like me, but I was a hard worker always. I never thought that what I was doing was good enough.
Right.
I'm still like that.
Right.
I still don't think I'm good enough for whatever it is I'm doing. You know, so I go and I search, I call people.
Right. So you're in it. You're in it like that with that intensity. What about your facility when you were younger? Was there anything that you were like, oh God, I wish I had a...
Well, I didn't have... People say, oh, you have nice feet. But I didn't have, like, hyperextended legs and gorgeous big old arches, you know.
Right.
Because I really did want to be a ballerina.
Right. Well, you really could have been.
But I didn't think I could.
Right.
But I wanted to. But I just kept striving
you let that idea of not having certain things...
I let the illusion of what you had to look like as a ballerina affect me. Because I was next to dancers who did have that. But I was like, well, if she can twirl, I'm going to try to twirl. If she can balance her arabesque, I got an arabesque too. You know, and I didn't have extension front or anything or a major side, but it's decent. It's not that high. But I think I was always strong.
Right.
Like, I want to look, it's got to look good, but I didn't have the look. Like the real ballerina.
At least you didn't.
I didn't think so.
Right.
But I still try to strive. I love ballet.
I mean, the thing that's amazing, I think, about you is that you are, for me, a perfect blend of all those things. Your technique is so impeccable that no matter what you're doing, it supports you in that. So it's clean, it's precise.
But you sound. I never knew that. I didn't know that until about 4 years. Yeah, I think it was 4 years ago. And Madame Darvash was doing a workshop here at Ailey. Wood, I didn't know who she was.
Right.
It was time off, and I came in to help another dancer rehearse. She said, I'm going to take ballet class. I said, what ballet class are you taking? The school's closed. Oh, there's an extension program happening, a workshop. She's a ballet teacher. She's going to do ballet. So I just came because it was free. I was going to get a workout, like a ballet class. I came in with my sweatpants and everything, and she was like, straighten your knees all the way. And she would grab my hand and she said, you should hold your arm like this so it supports your back. And she just kept coming to me like, giving me attention slowly. And I'm like, well, I am straightening my knees. And then she would say straighten, and I had that little extra more I straightened. And I was like, oh, well, okay. I guess she does have a point. And then she was doing things to me like, no, don't tuck under when you do that. Really, just rotate from here. And I was like,
oh, there's something else in there.
Usually, when you don't take class for a week, you take class, you go home the next day, and you're like, oh, I'm a little sore.
Right. No.
I woke up the next day, my legs dropped, my shape, that ballerina look was starting. I was standing in the living room.
Wait, when was this?
This was 4 years ago when she started teaching at the school.
That is crazy.
And I still didn't think I didn't like my legs. I mean, I think I have sexy legs when I'm in the street. Right. But as far as dancer, I was like, oh, it's still not.
Isn't that funny? You have that divide. You go like, as a person, I'm this, but as a dancer, I want something else.
Look so like that shape.
Isn't that amazing?
And then I worked that one day with her. I got up. Glenn, my husband, woke up. He said, babe, you look long. I was like, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, these are my legs already. The shape, how it started happening, like the
But you have a body that responds quickly.
I do have that because for some reason, I'm very in tune with my body because I like to really feel, understand what I've always been like that. So when someone says to do something and I do it and then it works,
you internalize it and your body responds and remembers.
Yes, and so I did it. I went the next day. I was like,
it was like crack.
I was like cracked. I was cracked on Madame Darvash, and ever since then And then I looked at my body change, and my arms were longer than they were already long, but they were even longer. My legs were longer. My feet looked like they were opening. I was like, I have that look. And she said, you have the body of a ballerina. And I was like, I was like crying. I was crying. I was like,
all your life, right?
All my life.
Beautiful.
And so after working with her one summer, about 2 weeks, because I caught the end of the workshop, we went to Paris for 3 weeks, and the reviews were unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Came to New York City Center, unbelievable reviews, and I was like, describing me because we did the river that December, and they said she looked like a little princess and dancing on top of lily pads. I mean, the description was ridiculous. I was like, no one's ever gotten reviews like that. And then the memorial reviews came out, and I was like, all these reviews were talking about because I felt free.
Yeah.
I was strong.
You believed something about yourself.
Yeah, I was strong, but the strength was there. She taught me how to use the body that I have. And get the look and the strength and the technique of what you always searching for.
Isn't that beautiful that after all this time you can still learn? You can still learn something.
Still learn. And
so here's the question. I have to ask you this question.
So that's how I maintain, first of all. I personally work with her.